Over the past 9 days, we've seen the best current Olympic sailors compete across 10 disciplines in this mega Allianz sailing world.
Fast foiling here, and it's a very tight duck indeed. Pretty risky doing that manoeuvre, and it is real chaos.
Plus 4 fleets of parasailers also battling to become world champions.
It's a very strong start. Looking good for rounding in first place. There is a lead change of not just 1 but 2 positions here.
We'll have a review of the best action from the whole event later in the show. But let's start with the last 2 classes to finish their series, the ILCA women and men.
Nice wind, nice breeze. Happy to be here.
Croatia's 2-time Olympic silver medalist Tonči Stepanović briefly led the championship.
The ILCA fleet is very strong on every race.
Pavlos Kantidis also led briefly.
That's always pleasing.
Great Britain's Mickey Beckett took the lead after consistent top 10 finishes.
Try and make a good fist of it. It can be quite hard to judge sometimes.
Australia's Tokyo gold medalist Matt Weirne slowly closed the gap.
Yeah, just got to go out and keep doing what I've been doing all week.
New Zealand's George Gotry climbed into 3rd overall. Beckett leads into the final day with a fine margin, but can't afford to make any mistakes. It all came down to one last race. Matt Weirne sailed out of his skin and took control. Mickey Beckett drops to 3rd.
Basically pushed me into doing a spin. I can't win anymore.
And my parents both sailed, so back in Perth, and yeah, I think I just bugged them enough around the age of 6 or 7 that to go through a learn to sail program there, and I guess yeah, I've just never really stopped. Yeah, I guess the big one's the Olympic gold medal in Tokyo. This will be my 5th World Championship medal, 3 silvers and a bronze as well. So, yeah, a couple of European Championships as well, and a few partners and things like that along the way. So yeah, it's been a pretty good career so far. I was in a position where I could afford to do that sort of thing, and for me, being silver or bronze was just not an option anymore. So yeah, had to leave it all on the table. Especially after the last 18 months, he'd come back and trying to get fit again, and yeah, it feels extra special. Just super happy to be sitting here now with going into tomorrow with the leaders bib on.
With Weirne having enough points to have won the event already, now the fight is focused on silver and bronze. Just 1 point or race place separates Kiwi George Gotry in 2nd and Brit Michael Beckett in 3rd. Let the battle commence.
And it looks like we are really pushing the line here. The Netherlands sailor coming in over the top as well. Bukados pushing really hard as the gun fires. It was very close to the line. It looks like we got away clean, and Matt Weirne from Australia looking strong at the moment to windward of the group.
I think the key one here that I'm watching is between George and Mickey in the middle of the line. You can see they're right parked close to each other on this beat.
And that is the crucial battle for silver and for bronze. New Zealand in the blue bib. That is George Gotry tacking out, and he has lost that first battle with Mickey Beckett in red. Mickey looks over his shoulder, decides not to follow him at this stage, keeping the tacks to a minimum and still holding his lane. What will happen when those 2 sailors start coming back together, as now we're seeing the fleet starting to tack out. New Zealand on the left-hand side, Great Britain, Mickey Beckett happened to tack over there, so those 2 sailors were in this similar position off the line. George Gotry was the first to lose out. He had to tack to clear his air, but now that he's come back over, Mickey Beckett does not seem to have been able to capitalise on that split, and they are locked together, and I would say the advantage at the moment is with New Zealand having the right of way to windward. Mickey Beckett, top right-hand corner of your screen. George Gotry from New Zealand, bottom left at the moment.
Oh, and George just there dropped his main sheet, I believe. So that was a pretty costly error in that tack to starboard.
The French sailor tacking over. Great Britain as well, also coming back through now. New Zealand coming through, this is going to be crucial. Great Britain is far out to that left-hand side, I would say, even with that tack, even with the drop of the main sheet. George Gautry has got this late shift. We are coming into this windward mark. Mickey Beckett in the red at the top of your screen. George Gautry is overtaking everybody here. He's on starboard now, and he has just not been able to hold off Jean-Baptiste Bernaz, but he's got the speed. He's going to be able to accelerate from underneath. So at the moment, in that battle, from silver to bronze, George Gautry is holding on to that second place. Mickey Beckett from Great Britain struggling to get around the windward mark clean.
I think what we saw there was a really nice gust that George got just into the windward mark. That visibly the boat accelerated and he just shot forward.
For George Gautry of New Zealand, now on the left-hand side of your picture, he's got a lot more space and he can start to feel perhaps a little bit confident. At the moment, Mickey Beckett, as we see in the red on that left-hand side, is making good use of the waves and good use of the little bit of breeze out there.
He's just able to keep the speed on whilst going slightly lower than everyone else consistently. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him up there, or if not leading at the low mark here.
There you can see the damage that this has done to the New Zealand sailor, the world number 20, George Gautry from New Zealand. At the bottom of the course, Jean-Baptiste Bernaz leading at the moment, but he is not in the key battle for second and third. Mickey Beckett is leading that competition, having sailed a fantastic downwind leg, recovering from a tricky windward mark, and George Gautry from New Zealand being forced to go around the other mark and starting his upwind sail on the other side of the course.
This gate, as you can see, looks quite biased to me as well. I would actually much prefer to be in Mickey's position at the top of the picture now. George has got a lot on from here.
Well, these are the predictive standings at the moment. Matt Wynne from Australia will, of course, take that top spot. Nothing on the water can change that. But Mickey Beckett of Great Britain, if he finishes in this place, will take silver, and George Gautry from New Zealand will be down into bronze. At the top of the course for the final time, the Frenchman Jean-Baptiste Bernaz, the world champion in 2020, leading the field at the moment in the medal race here in Scheveningen, but just behind and arguably getting a deeper bear away, a good exit from the mark, is Great Britain's Mickey Beckett in his hunt for the silver medal. Look at the distance here, 1 and 2, and then a long way between them and third. It's the Italian sailor, Lorenzo. Mickey Beckett on that left-hand side of your picture, he has gone low. He has gone low because George Gautry is on the inside. He's not leaving it up to chance. So a little bit of a tactical, well, shall we say a little bit of a tactical risk, but he's doing what he thinks is best. Jean-Baptiste Bernaz, the Frenchman, is now jibed over, decided that Mickey Beckett is onto something, sailing low and into the mark. So the Frenchman jibes over to close down the distance. Mickey Beckett and Jean-Baptiste Bernaz, the two sailors that we can see now, have made that shore side of the course work well for them, and they are rotating their way into a commanding lead and sitting between the rest of the pack and the bottom gate. Now we can see the field finishing now, so Jean-Baptiste Bernaz crossed that finish line. Mickey Beckett from Great Britain finishing in second place. That means he has done enough to get the silver. World champion Matt Wynne, and he's there on the field to congratulate everybody else for a race hard fought. And the confirmation of those final results. Matt Wynne, our world champion, will be on top. The big change, of course, is that George Gautry from New Zealand in the bronze medal position, while Mickey Beckett from Great Britain goes from third into silver. Look at this, lifting up Matt Wynne. He is going to step onto that top spot on the podium.
Men's world champion from Australia, Matt Wynne.
Probably one of those things will probably sit somewhere quiet like this afternoon or this evening, and it would all sink in, and yeah, the emotion will come up. But yeah, the emotion's there, and it's just super stoked to have won the regatta.
So I kind of said before the race, it's just going to be about getting the first call out of the windward mark right, and fortunately I managed to do that. And then just stay out of trouble. It's really nice to end on a good note after, you know, a long week. It's been a long race.
I'm quite happy with my week, and yeah, I got some work to do to catch Big Boy out in front. So yeah, excited about that.
We'll be back with the women's dinghy plus the event highlights in just a moment. Do stay with us. Wonderful scenes along The Hague's picturesque shoreline. And just off the beach, here's more action from the medal race of the women's dinghy.
There's so many fast, competitive female athletes out here.
110 Ilka Sixes are ready for the qualification series.
I'm going to do the best I can and we'll see where it brings us.
The depth of the class is immense, with gold and silver medalists, world champions and real superstars of the class.
The conditions when we race has been really challenging, but good.
Maria Erdi's consistency saw her rise to the top, but by a fine margin.
I started to feel more comfortable in the crazy conditions that we have here.
2020 Olympian and two-time world champion Emma Plashett found her form and took the lead from Erdi on the penultimate day. And it all changed. Maud Jayert moved to first, Anne-Marie Rindem to second, and Maria Erdi to third.
I kind of got into sailing pretty randomly. It was kind of just my parents who trying to keep us busy over the summer holidays, signed me up for a 1-week training camp in my town. Kept going, and yeah, now I'm a full-time sailor. Yeah, I had a really horrible start to the event. I probably scored more points in 4 races of qualifiers than I did now in all the finals, so it is really hard to sail with this much tide, and I think it took me quite a while to just adapt. SailGP, yeah, it's kind of nice to have to be able to sail another boat a bit faster than the laser every now and then, so yeah, really super fun to be in the team. Finishing off 10 races on top of the leaderboard, yeah, I'm pretty happy with my performance.
Well, we have got a situation where the top 10 are in the medal race and the top 5 could all potentially still walk away with that gold medal. Sitting on top at the moment is the Swiss sailor Maud Jayert, and she is going to be working incredibly hard to try and hold on to that top spot, even though the points are very close. She's going to be feeling plenty of pressure behind.
No, obviously I'm stoked because yeah, coming into the medal race first is really amazing, and then I have to stay really focused because obviously points are tight. So yeah, I can't really focus on just one other competitor or anything. We're 5 girls who can be on the podium. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be focused and sail my own race, and then think probably after the first beat or the first lap, then I can probably start maybe counting points and seeing if there's any way to secure a medal for sure.
Or what about the course that's waiting for them out on the water? Shirley, talk us through it.
It's going to be a tough start with the tide pushing them over up to the top mark, back down through the gate, a long run, back up, a long run, back to the finish, and a dash to the finish line.
Going to be difficult to see how we can get some space here right next to the line. It is from the Netherlands. Mariette Bouwmeester just going past the committee boat. We've got the final few seconds to go, and we are dangerously close to seeing the Dutch sailor over the line. The last few seconds go, and it was very close there. I think someone was over the line. We're going to have to wait and see exactly. A few of the sailors looping back round to try and clear. So far, clear at the moment, so it seems like people that were too close to the line managed to loop themselves around and come back through. That was Denmark's Anne-Marie Rindem and the Australian competitor Mara Stratsky. They are now off, and it is light, and it is very difficult to keep the speed up.
You can just see how they're struggling to get through the waves as well, and they're just really trying to squeeze the boat as much as you can to get through those waves and get a little bit of speed out for the really light racing you have.
We'll have to wait to find out exactly who that penalty was. There were some spins on the line, and it looked like it was the Denmark sailor, Anne-Marie Rindem, the Olympic medalist from Tokyo. So unfortunately, she is on the back foot right now. She comes into this with the blue bib. She started in second place. So she's going to have to work hard to recover. She is heading out to the left-hand side in the red. Mari Erdi from Hungary being forced to bounce from left to right. Jaye from Switzerland in the yellow, also tacking out. There's a lot of tacks in the middle here. No one can find a lane. We have got a situation here where in the red, Maria Erdi from Hungary is locking down the Swiss sailor, Maud Jaye. There is in the yellow bib, Maud Jaye from Switzerland. So much work not wanting to have your weight in the wrong position just for a moment. And she is down the field at the moment. There you can see with the Swiss flag on the top of your screen, she's got a lot of the other boats in front of her. So in the lead from Sweden, Josephine Olsson, silver medalist, doing the 2 tacks to then get herself round the mark. Behind we can see the yellow bib of Maud Jaye, hoping to hold on to that top spot. Has she been able to get that ley line a little bit better here? There should be a little bit of current helping her up. And I think it's just good enough to come round. She's got just ahead of her Emma Plasmachert from Belgium, and then just sneaking in on the inside as well. Other sailors coming through. Sweden now coming round, sailing low out of that mark. Switzerland getting very low now, and it's tight at the top of the course. We've had a little bit of a reshuffling of the pack here, and Maria Erdi from Hungary, who we are on board with now, she is currently sitting strong enough. She has overtaken some boats, and she is currently sitting in a position where she will be on the top spot of the podium. She's in 3rd place at the moment. Just in front of her is Emma Plasmachert from Belgium. There you can see it on the tracker. A few place changes, and suddenly we have a very different look on the podium. Maud Jaye has had to do a penalty turn on the water, and that is why we are seeing that change on the water.
The umpires penalised Switzerland for rocking.
There we go, for rocking, pumping, ooching, all of these things that we're not allowed to do when we're out on the racetrack unless we are let off the leash. But for these conditions, it needs to be about how you adjust your sail to the wind rather than generating it yourself. There you can see the predictive standings. It is still with Hungary at the top at the moment, but Jaye from Switzerland in 2nd. See, look how tight those points are as well. Bouwmeester from the Netherlands will be taking bronze, but everything could change on the next shift. Now, we've seen an awful lot of penalties out on the water at the moment. This was the moment that we had for rocking, for generating a little bit of power just with the body movements. And that was the penalty turn here by Maud Jaye from Switzerland. You can see the work rate here of Erdi from Hungary, pushing that boat down on every wave needing that little bit of adjustment. Josephine Olsson from Sweden, safely out in front. This is the battle here for the gold medal. Emma Plasmachert from Belgium, she can't climb higher than 5th. Having her in front of the Hungarian sailor is not a damage to Maria Erdi's race for the gold. As Josephine Olsson from Sweden now comes through the finish line. There is Emma Plasmachert coming across the line in 2nd place, but that's not going to matter. Maria Erdi from Hungary, the world number 11, is now world champion. Well, let's have a confirmation of the overall result for the women's dinghy. The Ilka 6, Maria Erdi from Hungary, now world champion. Maud Jaye from Switzerland will take the silver medal, and Anne-Marie Rindem from Denmark will take the bronze.
It's been such a stressful week, and yeah, I was there the whole week, but I was nervous about today's race, wondering if I could finish it off. And it was light winds, and we worked a lot on my lighter speed with my coach in the past year, and I was confident going into the race, but it was really tricky, very shifty, and people coming at me from every direction, so I was just trying to focus on my speed, and luckily I could get away, but it's really, I cannot believe it.
Smiles and exuberation from the top 3 in the women's dinghy. The Allianz Sailing Worlds really has delivered the goods in terms of superb racing conditions. Let's look at the best of the medal races, starting with the women's skiff. The fight for 49er FX qualification has been fierce. 19 nations making up the top 25 teams.
It's a long event.
The battle for Gold Fleet sees teams pushing hard and fighting back from poor starts.
Girls are pushing hard and we're also here to push hard.
Bobek and Netzler secure the yellow vest by only dropping 2 points in 9 races.
Sunshine and breeze and good waves.
The 2022 World Silver medalists are faster than the rest by far.
Now the real game begins.
Behind them, the 5 gold medalists and 3 silver medalists in the Gold Fleet fought hard amongst themselves.
Yeah, we had some fun out there.
The Swedish pair of Bobek and Netzler won 7 of 15 races and were second or third for another 5 of them to win the gold, the World Championship and Olympic qualification before the medal race.
We crushed it.
The Swedish duo may have crushed their series, but Mother Nature and a lack of breeze crushed our hopes of a final race. This is the moment the medal race women learned that their points so far would make up the championship overall result.
Let's take a look at the overall standings. So Sweden, world champions. Netherlands take the silver and Australia in bronze.
We were just really focused on getting that first spot from last year. This week's been amazing and unbelievable at the same time.
Yeah, we can finally start to celebrate for real.
The boat that has earned an awful lot of respect from everybody in this fleet. Bobek and Netzler from Sweden. And celebrations here on the beach of Scheveningen.
We'll be back with more of the best medal racing from all the classes from the Allianz Sailing World. Do stay with us. Welcome back to The Hague's vibrant seafront in the Netherlands. We're reviewing the best action from the medal racing in all of the Olympic classes, plus the para-sailing classes. Next up, the men's skiff. Lambrou and Van der Werken, Botin and Trettel have traded blows all through the qualifying rounds.
Yeah, there's always room for improvement there.
Prispatek and Piasecki are close in third and lead a trio of poles.
So far, so good.
The Dutch and Spanish are tied.
6 races of Gold Fleet ahead and everything can happen.
The battle to be in the top 10 is fierce and the level ramped up throughout the Gold Fleet.
Many things will happen, it's going to be very interesting.
The ongoing fight between the Spanish and the double defending Dutch champions raged until the last day.
Try to do that as good as possible and we'll see where it ends up.
Super tight, so we just need to play our game.
They traded places, but the Spanish fell at the last and the Dutch win gold.
Yeah, today was definitely the right moment to have one of your best days.
The gun fires very close to the line of the committee boat end, and I think potentially one boat over. We're going to have to wait and see. Poland 10 getting a strong start. Buksak and Zibricki coming off well from the pin end. Great British pair coming through as well from the middle of the line. New Zealand, Poland as well in there too. Spain coming through. The boat that started today in second place, but the Spanish pair, Botin and Trittel, right now down in the pack, and that is pushing them down into the bronze medal position. But there is a nice tack at the windward mark. It is slow, but it's controlled as well. Did a great job. The tack and the heel, the bear away was there in a very quick set for the New Zealand pair. McHardy and McKenzie now down onto the run, and behind them it's starting to look a little bit chaotic. You're going to have to thread your way through the field here. That first upwind leg already complete, and the pack has been shuffled. One boat that has split and completely split and gone all the way on the other side is Spain. That is the boat that came into today in second place, and they need to do something now to get back into that silver medal position. This boat here, McCarty and Mackenzie, New Zealand 4, leading, looking very comfortable, looking very calm. They are jumping up from 6th into 4th place. McCarty and Mackenzie from New Zealand, chiving to go across the line. You can see how strong the current was, but the hard work is behind them. Switzerland go through, finishing that far ahead from Spain will mean that this pair here has come up from 3rd overall into 2nd. But the World Championship title going to that boat behind in the yellow bibs.
A tough outcome for the Spanish team, but for Schneider and De Planta from Switzerland, an upgrade to silver. McCarty and Mackenzie from New Zealand finished 4th overall.
There we have our world champions, Bart Lambrix, Floris van der Werken from the Netherlands, up on the top of the podium with the flag and the smiles telling the story. Great work here on the waters of Scheveningen.
The Japanese duo of Okado and Yoshioka have led the mixed dinghy fleet since race 1. It's a competitive fleet, with some teams still learning the mixed discipline.
Life good, no?
Life really good.
Life really good.
Test event winner and French favourites struggled in the choppier conditions.
Not such a good day because of the early start.
After 3 days of tricky variable racing, the trailing pack of Ferrari and Caruso and Dish and Marquardt closed the gap to 8 points as the two fleets joined together.
It's a long way to go still.
Once in Gold Fleet, the Japanese pair extended their lead and didn't look back. And they wrapped up the gold medal with the medal race to spare.
Everyone fighting for space, and the fastest start has been off the middle, right close to the bow of the pin end. Jordi Chamar and Cabot from Spain managed to make good work of that little bit of space that they had there at the pin. And there's some big discoloration on the water there, that mix of the current.
That is a tide line. We're right on the change here.
The boat leading at the top of the course is Spain, Chamar and Cabot. Second rounding at the top, the Portuguese pair, Costa and Joao, world number 16, and then the pack closely behind here. Japan, Okada and Yoshioka, we know that they're going to be on the top spot. Chamar and Cabot from Spain have done enough so far to be able to hold on to 2nd, and then taking that 3rd spot is Winkel and Winkel. That is the 1, 2, 3 that we started with today. Look at what Israel has managed to do. If they finish where they are right now, they're going to be finishing in 6th in this world, and it's going to be all down to this one shift, this go and get them attitude in terms of the tide line. They spotted it, they got it, and they deserve everything it's going to give them. It's a Japanese pair in 2nd, but not the one that you might be thinking about. Japan number 22, the 22 ranked boat in the world, around in 2nd. Winkel and Winkel from Germany. Germany 13, really losing out in those final push there towards that bottom. Israel are out in front, they are looking good, but for the podium places, it's going to be about the battle between Spain, Germany, and Japan 22. Germany realistically need to get round the Spanish to get into that bronze place. There is Hansen and Lazary coming through that finish line, winning that final race. 2nd place in the medal race will go to Sweden. There is Japan 22. Spain comes through the line. That means a 2nd place in the overall. But here is the World Championship winning boat, the gold medalist pair, Okada and Yoshioka from Japan. Now they can celebrate in style. 36 points to the advantage of the Japanese pair of Isozaki and Seki. Chamar and Brugman Cabot from Spain in 2nd. Really strong performance here from Japan, and this is how much it means to them. Okada and Yoshioka from Japan, world champions with the gold medal round their neck.
So much fun and enjoy the medal race.
The IQ Foil World Champion 2022, Sebastian Cordel, started in dominant form.
Yeah, 4 races, tricky conditions. The wind was up and down, changing direction quite a bit.
Luc van Opseland, runner-up in last year's Worlds, chased hard.
I'm satisfied, looking forward to tomorrow.
Italy's Nicola Renna, the European champion, found his form, and the three started the Gold Fleet with only a point between them.
To stay relaxed, try to don't think about and go like for what you do every day, you know?
The first 5 races of the final series proved to be a test of tactical skill as shifting winds presented an intricate challenge that defied prediction.
I'm looking forward to fight out there in gold and silver with the real man.
Renna took control and leads into the medal race.
Nicola Renna, he knows he has got competition from Sebastian Cordel and Luc van Opseland as well. Whoever finishes this next race in first place, they will be the world champion. We've got Germany setting the windward position, coming in late, just out of view on the left-hand side. Here is the Italian and the Dutch rider coming through from the line here and looking strong out into the lead at the moment. Cordel from Germany setting up to windward at the moment. Nicola Renna as well. So Netherlands pushing really hard at the moment. And they're going to need their best speed. This is the best of the best. This is the final. This is gold, silver and bronze. At the moment, Netherlands in the lead, being chased down hard by Italy. Germany as well in third place, putting some pressure on and getting a little bit of a charge there.
Sebastian got a real acceleration on the foil and he's actually, wow. Yeah, I mean, he may have brushed the back of Nicolo, but Nicolo's able to keep sailing on, keep his control.
The gust not quite coming for the Italian foil. Oh, and he has hit the mark and he is slow. He has got hung up on that mark. This is going to be a challenge. We knew that tacking in where he did to approach that mark was a risk. He went for gold. He went for the win. But the German foiler is now round and into second. But in the end, Luc van Opseland from the Netherlands, world champion here. A great race and a great result for everybody here watching on the shore. For the Netherlands, Luc van Opseland, the world champion here in the men's IQ foil windsurfing.
I've tried so many times to win an event and then to win it at home. It's amazing. I want to say different words, but I'm not allowed. So I'm super stoked, super happy.
The Allianz Sailing Worlds have not all been about the 10 Olympic classes. Inland from The Hague on Lake Brassemeermeer, 4 classes of parasailers enjoyed perfect conditions for their multi-world championship. The open 2-person technical class was raced on a new design called the RS Venture Connect. The wide deck has room for 2 sailors side by side, and the helm and crew positions have clever adjustments to accommodate everyone. French duo Ange Margaron and Olivier Ducroux knew that when they crossed the finish line of race 9 of 10, they'd done just enough to take the world title.
It was just like in a dream. And Ange is, for me, one of the best sailors I know.
After 10 races, Pedro Reis and Guilherme Ribeiro from Portugal took silver, with John McRoberts and Scott Lutz from Canada taking the bronze. The open 1-person technical class is sailed in a pure racing machine, the 2.4 Norland 1 design, with keels and classic lines. Heiko Kruger from Germany had won the series before race 10, so attention was focused on the silver and bronze positions.
Already we are into some open space for silver medalist here, David De Mara from Italy. Judged that distance perfectly. First time at the top of the course, and it is the 2 Italians, the first to round. Antonio Squisito, the world #1, followed by fellow countryman David De Mara.
First and second across the line meant silver for Di Maria and bronze for Squizzato. Both men and women's non-technical class were sailed in Hansa 303s, a bright and cheerful dinghy which anyone can sail. In the women's, American Betsy Allison led the charge to beat her nearest rival, Olga Gornas-Grudzian from Poland.
It came down to that final race, but the United States and Elizabeth Betsy Allison is world champion in the Hansa 303.
In the men's non-technical, Piotr Ciochi from Poland was dominant throughout the series, winning overall before race 10.
And Cichocki, the world #1, overtaking Great Britain just before the line.
But crossing the final finish line first because, well, that's what champions do. From the serene to the sizzling, we'll be back with the 4 Olympic foiling classes who fly closer to the sun but crash with a splash. Emma Wilson started the qualification series as she intended to finish it.
And it was pretty good for me. I was just trying to start the regatta well.
Helene Nussmann trailed closely in second place.
A week of racing a bit different.
Chinese athlete Zheng Yang is only 4 points behind Wilson. It's a tightly contested championship where mistakes are punished.
Kind of storms coming, then the sun went out, and it was all the time like going with the face.
Israeli sailors Shahar Tibi and Katie Spychakov sailed faultlessly and moved into second and third in the gold fleet.
The most important thing is to keep going up.
Emma Wilson goes through to the medal race series in the beneficial gold vest. The windsurfing women also had their moments through the quarters and semis.
Oh, and a rider is in the water.
That's the current world champion, Marta Maggette, gone down there.
Wilson, Tibi and Spychakov made it through to the medalist start line.
Emma Wilson from Great Britain setting up on the left-hand side to windward of the other 2 foilers. And look at the acceleration there as they go. Emma Wilson from Great Britain to windward, trying to find the way over the top. The speed is with the British foiler, but just to leeward, just finding a way through, a little bit of a burst of acceleration now. Katie Spychakov of Israel is taking the lead. Well, Israeli 1-2 at the moment. First around, Shahar Tibi going off to the right-hand side, followed closely by Katie Spychakov. Emma Wilson splitting and going round to the left-hand side. So the battle for gold is between the 2 Israeli foilers. Tibi working hard, trying to get a little bit of extra height to get a smooth bear away, but she gets it. She is round. Now Spychakov following as well, slightly slower on the turn, but safely onto the run. Tibi looking very strong. The finish coming into view, still pushing hard, still not wanting to ventilate that foil. And across that line, Shahar Tibi from Israel, world champion. Great scenes, great celebrations. Shahar Tibi with the flag draped over her shoulders and a lot of emotion on display.
I'm happy with the process we did as a team, personally, and I cannot be more happy for what I achieved now, and thank you.
Shahar Tibi, gold medalist and world champion. Katie Spychakov takes the silver and Emma Wilson from Great Britain takes the bronze.
Italians Ruggero Tita and Caterina Banti started the regatta in dominant form.
It's going to be interesting to see this huge fleet with 70 boats, what will be happen.
The Tokyo gold medalists only dropped 1 point in the first 9 races and well ahead of closest rivals Kohoff and Stumer, Gimson and Burnett and Jared and Johnson. In the gold fleet, the point spread is still tight, but the Italians dominate going into the medal race by 18 points.
It's very clear when the gun fires the direction that each of these boats is going to be taken. Only one of the team, Sweden, Jerud and Johnson, just tacking through. They have started badly here and they are in a battle for bronze. Up on the foils, going upwind. Netherlands here, they are just going a little bit low. Leylemere and Brian Bauer just putting that bow a little bit down. Happy to run fast right now. Happy to get the foils working, get the speed going. Then we've got the red bibs there of Jerud and Johnson from Sweden with that strong recovery after that poor start. And it's a very tight duck indeed. Top of the course, final time, and of course it's only gonna be one boat, Tita and Banti from Italy. They are now completing that lap of honor. They have got to go down to the bottom of the course, and then that World Championship title will be theirs. Behind them, the boats have not been able to line up perfectly, and Germany having to duck the stern of Sweden. So Jerud and Johnson slipping around the top of the course and into second place. And now across the line, we've all been waiting for this moment. Nobody doubted it, but world champions for Tita and Banti from Italy.
Guys, you won 10 races and then finished it off winning the medal race. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We are really happy.
Beautiful sailing. You played that start so conservatively, Ruggero, and then, you know, you still came through very well sailed. What's the secret?
I think we had a very good speed for this championship all days, and happy with that.
Well, let's have a little bit of a look at the confirmed standings now that we have got that medal race concluded. Of course, the Italians, Tita and Banti on top. In second place, Gimson and Burnett of Great Britain. But then the relief for the Swedish fans. Jerud and Johnson from Sweden sit on that final spot on the podium. It all came down to that medal race and they held their nerve. And of course, the loudest round of applause, Ruggero, Tita and Caterina Banti from Italy. But there was no doubt as to who it was that was going to be standing on this top spot. Champagne and sand. I'm sure that's going to make a very nice sticky combination for these sailors. But everybody up there sharing that top spot, sharing that moment. All the hard work is behind them. And each of these teams has a reason to smile.
"84 competitors split into 3 groups has kept the top seeds apart until Gold Fleet. Max Mader and Tony Vodisek, the two who have performed all year, topped their fleets.
Procedurally smooth and exciting racing for sure.
The Red Fleet was tighter. Axel Mazzella proved he is back to his best, closely followed by Riccardo Pianossi.
We go out in the water to shred some funny days.
16 nations made up the top 25, and the Gold Fleet racing really heated up.
It's gonna be a real war.
The fine margins saw Tony Vodisek move ahead of Max Maber by 1 point.
Have fun and best of luck to the others.
The kite classes have an unusual scoring system. Through the qualifiers and semis, sailors pick up race wins, taking them through to the final series, where whoever picks up 3 race wins in total wins the gold medal. Vodisek carries 2 wins into the finals, Mader 1, leaving Bontus and Mazzella needing to win 3 to claim the title. Let's start with the first race of the final series.
Max Mader was in the lead only narrowly the last time we were at this course. This time I think it's going to go to red. Valentin Bontis does what Max Mader did. He got in on the inside and then Mader steals it right back coming out of that mark low. Max Mader comes through the line, takes the first point on offer, and he moves up to 2 wins in this first to 3.
In race 2 of the final series, the leading contenders were behind the curve.
Axel Mazzella now crosses that finish line, adding his first point to the board and doing it with a dominating performance. we go into a race once again with Tony Vodisek and Max Mader only needing to win one race. They didn't do it last time. Can they do it now? And we are off that line. Valentin Bontis sailing away clean.
They go now around the mark. It's Axel Mazella, Valentin Bontis, and then Max Mader behind them. What can Axel do against those bigger kites? Ooh, Max just really barely keeping it together right there.
This is where Tony Vodisek has realized he is on the wrong equipment and he has made a quick blast into the shore. Valentin Bontis in the lead right now, coming round, and then on the inside, Axel Manzella coming through as well. Oh, and down into the water, crashing down hard and losing speed, but managing just to keep the kite in the air. Very close, kite and rider now coming for the tack. Very close together, but both managing to tack over and heading over to the other side. And the lead right now is with Max Mader from Singapore. Reaching fast, reaching to the finish line, it's just ahead. And Valentin Bontis pushing so hard that he loses the stability, the speed goes as well, he knows it's over. Max Mader can ease up, he can celebrate, the World Championship title is his, he doesn't even need his hands on the bar. And here's the confirmation of the results here on that final races in the men's foiling kiteboard. Max Mader, the first to 3 wins, the young Singaporean rider, now our world champion.
What a turn of events, you know, what a race. We had from start to finish drama in that race, I believe, you know. Riders had crashes, mistakes, whatever it was, and it was tough racing. Mad respect to the competitors that I was racing with.
The women kiteboarder Lorianne Nola kept the opening series firmly in her control. 8 bullets, 2 second places sent a clear message to the fleet.
For the first time at the Games in France,
Ellie Aldridge took the top spot in blue with 4 bullets and a string of seconds.
I like board sports basically, everything on the water that's fast.
The gold fleet saw the yellow and blue fleets converge and the top riders meet. British riders Ellie Aldridge and Lily Young made silver and bronze on the first day of the Gold Fleet racing, closely followed by the American Daniela Moroz.
I think the vibe here is great.
Lorianne Nola kept gold with 3 bullets and a 4th.
I think it's going to be quick and yeah, I'm really motivated today.
With no racing on the final day, it was Nola and Aldridge who secured first and second, and Lily Young third before the winner takes all series. With 2 race wins carried forward to the final series, Nola had 1 more race win to go to claim the world title. Aldridge would have to win 2 more races, with Young and Dabson needing a hat-trick.
France in the yellow bib.
The girls are amazing, they're super strong on the water. Ellie, she's really good at catching up, so every time I'm like, ah!
Lorianne Nola from France taking the win and the World Championship title. The celebrations on the beach, champagne, and most importantly, medals as well.
14 world champions have been crowned at the Allianz Sailing Worlds, including the 4 Paraclass winners, whose inclusion here has been a hugely popular move among the sailing community. The red carpet is now ready to roll out for a momentous Olympic Games.